Alright with you. Welcome to another video here on the channel. If you're a little more of the old guard, you must know names like Ajax and Fresh, among others. If you don't know, it's because you already met autistic people in the React era. But before that, our applications were made in Trottish on the web. And although it still exists, he is no longer as common for new applications. Among other things that were different, we had a common table, today in Reactive, and also insert an editable table, who had the button by default. When we clicked, created a new editable line in our table. Today I will show you how to implement this inside the Reactive. If you want to know how it works, I'll explain after the vignette. Let's go. As you may have heard, let's not the wheel. And at Ford there is various applications, components actually created already with this functionality, so I chose this one. Okay, you can choose the same or the other that you find better to start your application. So here I downloaded this. The demo is already there. The demo along with the component we're going to need is this one is the application he downloads. This is the block we're going to need to use. But I have my application here that I will use. If I come here to manage dependencies, I will search here for appear. Is this one from up here? Ready? If I come here, I want this block right. I'll give one up there and I'll show you, because you can't use it that way. Ready? He appeared here for me. I'm going here, I'm going to expand. But you can see that he has this parameter here, source list, and these two events. Only if I drag it here. And we'll ask for this. But this partner lists here him. Its required type is the in-play list, which is the aggregate that is in it in the original. So if I come here, for example, and seek any other ingredient, he will make one mistake, he will make inconsistency. Okay. So we're not going to leave this. This way it's lets you exclude here. We are going to do the famous copy and paste is. I'm going to copy this block anyway. With right button copy. I will come here on my application. And I'm going to paste it here in the main flow. Ready? Now, I already have it here and I can edit it here. It's good. How am I going to do this here? Is as you can see, he used one employee type short list. Has here, it is these attributes that are here, the tables and the inputs. But I don't want. Use input parameter is fine. So I'm going to delete it from here. It will be a lot of mistakes, but don't be scared by this. EU will make one FED date here. And I will pick up here the table I created and call clade. Ready? It is also a simple table that only has 3 attributes. I'm already going to do one thing here that will help me and it will be necessary. By the way, there is, I'll come here in luck. Add one new. Click on. And put here as descending. Then you'll see why I did this is fine. Ready? Let's go back then here for our code. Let's go error by mistake. To see what's going on, first thing I already know what it is. I'll come here in the 3 video. A table, right? It's no longer exists, so now it's getClients.list. Ready, and next step. Autistic. She is interesting because of that sheet. Automatically she already brings you a lot of stuff right here, even if the person doesn't understand. The person does not. Don't know how to move the platform much. She gets through these accelerations. It's getting to the easy problem, be it down here right here where there are 22 errors. If I click on each one it will error by error. But it's also this way. For example, if I click on Variable, it's him. He shows me the suggestion. Are you seeing? I want to show the name here. Then get clay to listically name ready. Is basically changing the mistakes. There's this expression. It's the same thing. I want to enter the name here. This one's mistake. Let me open the dialog box here. Inside, it's me, so I'm going to have to change the sorcerer here. Are you seeing? Everything he's looking for what he had. Then, it's the same thing. Ready, I will even copy it from here. Because probably all rifles have is the same condition. Let me check. Yes, as I imagined. I will paste here. And I will paste here. Ready, then let's go to the next mistake. Here he is. Searching for. I will get the name. Let me get this out of here. The input type is ready text. And up here, I will switch to do the same thing and change to be name. Let's go to the next one. So here is gender. I want to show the email. Click here. He will complain about the charge. I will switch to email too. Ready, and I think that here too I will have to change to 250 ready. Just for him to stop giving that. This order is fine. And expression is the same thing. I want to adopt. Here it is not appearing in the suggestion. I'll give you 2 clicks here. Expand the getClients here. And stretching. Let me select here and change it ready. Now it's let me change up here too. Ready? And let's go to the next part. Here he is complaining. It is probably one condition. The flag we changed back there. Right here. I have to change. Carmen took the number now from my new table. As you can see, is basically increases errors, changing what was for what you traded. It's that simple. Hi 600. You will find a lot of it when you reuse components to streamline your process. Here it's taking a while because I'm explaining it and everything. But if I were to create this here from scratch, it would also take a little while because I would have to think about logic and everything. Here everything is ready. It is. Let's continue then. Now the next part. I think here it's also the same mistake from up here. Part of the knee on top must have a similar condition here in California. Exactly. Same. Ready, next mistake. I think these buttons here But let's go this way. Let's follow this way now. Next mistake. Ready, let me change it from here. For my aggregate. $80. Next. A laugh. Ready, let it even copy this because probably the next will be similar or yes. This one is different. It's just the list. Let me select here. Ready, let me delete this from here. Wait there. It's the same thing. Next mistake. Ready, here is the button where you will add a new line. Okay, let's change that from here. Let's this. Here it's still the same. Is always 0. Let you change. So this from here. Biotistic acceleration when I click. When I create, in fact. This is my first one here that will be IDEM. Automatically the bottom ones he will already recognize. I won't have to be open all the time. This little box here. Soon ID will equal 0. The name, as you can see, it already appears here. I really want him to come. It's empty, right? The last name. I also want it to come empty. Then I will take out this null and put double quotes here. The same thing. I want him to create the empty email. We're still going to have to implement it here to save our table. But let's put an end to the other mistakes first that remain are here. This mistake of delight. Certainly from the button even of delight. Let you change. This from here. Let me come here. And we are now finally going to our last mistake. Here, creative update. Maybe he will. The mistake is not only here. I will show why. I will put here. Ready, he is complaining that the customer updates him. It requires the record employee, because that was the source. It's here from this application, right? How am I going to solve this? As you can see is, the error is coming from here, of this event. And if this event is going wrong, it's because it has some parameter, right? So just come here at my event. As you are seeing here, it has this parameter of the type record implosion. So here I will change For customer. Wait there. Doing this. He already accepts. Here what I put is good. And the error disappears. Now let me change this here. Ready? This part is ready. We already changed what we had to change. Already works. Even if I want to publish it already works. But the main thing is missing. Let me change it from here. Leaves in English. What we're going to need to do. Here on ours is John click. We quote here all the values any. And we want you to have when one new line is created. When we need to create our action. To save. It's all come here in logic. You remember that I'm involved in a mono way. Because it's only one example, but we will always separate by layers. By modules. For our application to stay within good practice. But let's go. Is comes here in server action. I will create one new server action. I will call her created. Ready? I will pass here one input parameter, and will be called Clyde. Place customers here ready. And I will also put an output parameter. Who will be AD? That will be of the type. To identify, ready I will create in the simplest way possible. Okay, let me put it here. Nor need. I will not put it public because she's in the same place. But let's create. So here's our action. I come here. Calls me a customer. And drag my customer to customer update here. Ready step as a partner. My input parameter. And I will define here my AD. He'll get what comes here from my client action. Yes. Here I had to do. In fact, in addition to creating one other mode, it was good to put one sticker in case there was one mistake. Anyway, it is. It's good you know that. Who doesn't know? And who knows it's good to use this? But let's speed up here. Just to show you how it works. I will come back here in Edson click. And I'll drag my little stock here. He will ask the customer here, right? There. Let me just click here. I will pass here my current list. Like my parameter. It's good ready. After that, he will create a true line in the database and I want, which finally, give me a refresh it's good. I want him to give a reflection, to show at the time what happened there. For there he stayed out here. Ready? Let's now go to the last part that I had forgotten. We need to have a delete action. Because our block, he has an event. We'll call, is this action. You're going to need this delete action. So let's come here. Alias server action. Add one new server action. I'll call her delete. It will have an input parameter only, who will be called EDI, and will be clang type. To identify, I will come here on date. And I will pass my AD. Ready here. I could create, should in fact, have much more validations, have exceptions. But to go faster, the video doesn't get too long. I'll leave it alone, that way it's really good. Now yes, I'll come here on my main screen. Where I want to drag is where I want to have my table. It's fine, and I'm going to drag my block with all the changes we've made. Ready? He will give these mistakes. And actually, we won't even call it mistakes, right? And we'll order handler here for these two events that we things inside the block. Okay, I go here. I will create a new action customer. And I will do the following. I will come in logic. In this case here, I will already drag my client or update of cleans. I will pass this record here. Let me come back here, because I think I went too fast. Let me show you, which is this record. As you can see, it already comes from data type, because we set it up inside from our block. It's after being created. I'll give you one refresh on my page. Drag here, and I'll give you one refreshment. He does not appearing here, obviously. Let me come here. Give one FET data was one base date. And get my customer table here. Ready? It's like this, guys. Is one recorded video, but I'm learning and making mistakes along with you, okay? Here, get clients. Ready? Now let's define our delete action. Let me see here, and in the same way, I'm going to come here now and drag. Here's my delete action. It could be this one. And also, I will put here the refresh is for when I exclude, I delete something, he already updates on time. Let's then give a publish and see this here working there in the browser. So in the browser I have my table. There's nothing here, right? If it were one application, one table the common way, for sure I would have one button here. That would take me to another page. But I want it to work. Squeezing here. One new line, and you doing everything around here. Let's then test. Clicky. And appeared. Put the name. My last name. And I'm going to put Aisha's email here. Ready? If I click here, the line goes white. He saves nothing. Delete, he will delete the line. If I click here, it has to save. And disappear these fields here, right? These imputes and only the names appear. Let's see if it will work. Works. Now if you click here to add one new line. Ready? As you must remember, I created one ordination, right? Decreasing. Because if I didn't do that, every time I clicked here on this little button, he would come down here, would always come down. And with that, it's in this case, without paging. But if it were one table with paging, that would get me into trouble, okay? So for you to no longer have this problem either, follow these steps I took. Of course, if you are going to use this, better this from here, right? Makes it a little more cute, is puts the paging and even uses as if it were a common table. It is. This will speed up your service for sure. And also visually more beautiful. It's good to put any other name here to see if everything is okay. Joe Aroba Gamel point with. I will save. Ready? When you click, you can edit where you clicked. See if I click here soon. He does not exclude, but get out of the editing part. And as you can see, it's much more intuitive and much easier to use the table this way. It's true that there's more work to do if you are creating something fast. It is much more worth using the pattern of autistic people because it already comes with paging and everything is ready. But for you to train your knowledge a little, and for me to know another way to create a table here on the platform, this is a good way to start. Remembering that this is not the only way to create it. It's just one of the ways to implement line-by-line editing within a table. If you are not subscribed to the channel, sign up, activate notification bell, and of course, don't forget to enjoy for this video to reach more people who also want to learn very high just like us. See you in the next video. By then.